Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Gabriela Priscilla, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA at IPMI Business International School in batch March 2025. Today, I'll be presenting on corporate finance mind mapping, an essential area of study in business education that provides the tools and framework necessary to make informed financial decisions. I'm deeply honored to have had the guidance of Prof. Roy Sembel, a distinguished lecturer in financial management throughout this course. Prof. Sembel's expertise has been invaluable in shaping my understanding of corporate finance and in practical application. This presentation will reflect some of the key concepts we've explored together, such as financial management, capital budgeting, capital structure, and risk management, among others. Through today's session, we'll go over a structured overview of corporate finance and how its core concepts are interconnected. I hope that this discussion will provide you with insight into how financial decisions are made in real business environment. Thank you again for your attention, and let's dive into the subject. Here we see the mind map road, which visually represents the main areas of corporate finance that we will be discussing today. This roadmap highlights how different elements of corporate finance are interconnected and guide decision-making process. At the start of the road, we have financial management. This is the foundation of everything in corporate finance. It involves making strategic decisions to ensure the company's financial health and success. The icon represents managing cash flow, research, and other financial tools to help the business achieve its objective. Next, we move on to capital structure, which shows how company debts and equity are balanced. This section is crucial for determining the company's cost of capital and its overall financial stability. A healthy capital structure allows companies to make sound financial decisions and take on growth opportunities with lower risk. Moving along the road, we have capital budgeting. This represents the decision related to major investment projects, like whether the company should purchase new equipment or expand its operation. Capital budgeting involves evaluating the financial viability of long-term investment to ensure they generate adequate return. On the other side of the road, we see risk management, which involves identifying, analyzing, and managing the potential risks that could impact the company's performance. These risks could range from market fluctuation to operational hazard, and effective risk management strategies help business mitigate these risks to ensure their stability. And lastly, we have the section labeled Others, which will touch upon various other key areas of corporate finance, such as the book of psychology of money, and the other what we learn in corporate finance session. Next, let's now dive deeper into financial management, a fundamental area of corporate finance that focuses on managing the financial health of a company. As shown in this slide, there are several critical components that make up the financial management framework. The first is objective. Financial management aims to achieve basic, operational, social, and research objectives. These objectives are critical for a company to maintain growth, manage research, and ensure that the company stays on track with its long-term goals. And next, the value creation. A company must focus on creating value not just for its shareholders, but also for its customer and society. Key concepts in value creation include like core value, understanding what drives the company value, expectation treadmill, constantly aligning the expectation between the business and its stakeholders, and the conversation of value, ensuring that value creation is communicated effectively to stakeholders. And the last is best owner, finding way to optimize value by aligning with the best ownership structure. And next, we go to scope to manage. Effective financial management requires handling a broad spectrum of activities like capital structure, deciding on the right mix of debt and equity financing, and working capital, ensuring that the company has enough short-term assets to cover its liabilities, asset structure, managing the company's long-term asset, and revenue, cost, and cash flow management, balancing income generation with efficient cost management to ensure cash flow. Grow and risk, navigating risk while striving for sustainable growth. Good corporate governance. Now we talk about it. This is an essential pillar of financial management, which includes like transparency, ensuring open financial practice, accountability, holding all parties responsible for their action, responsibility, taking ownership of financial decision, independence and fairness, ensuring that financial decisions are made without bias and that all stakeholders are treated fairly. And the last is the 5 business essential. According to Prof. Ramcharan, these essential help business thrive like cash, profit margin, velocity, growth, and customer focus. Each of these elements plays a critical role in ensuring that a company remains profitable and competitive in the market. Next. Okay, next let's discuss capital budgeting, a critical process in corporate finance that involves evaluating potential long-term investment or project. It's essential for business to assess whether a new investment, such as new equipment or a new project, will generate a positive return that exceeds the cost of the investment. There are several key elements in capital budgeting. The first is Rule 72. This Rule 72 is a quick way to estimate the number of years it will take for an investment to double based on a fixed annual rate of return. To use Rule 72, simply divide 72 by the interest rate. For example, if you have a return rate of 6%, it will approximately 12 years for the investment to double. 72 divided by 6. It's simple and effective way to understand the power of compound interest over time. The second is method. There are various methods used to evaluate investment in capital budgeting. Payback period. This method measures how long it will take to recover the initial investment. It's a simple way to evaluate the liquidity of investment. Next, the net present value. NPV is a comprehensive method that calculates the net present value of the future cash flow, subtracting the initial investment. If the NPV is positive, the investment is expected to add value to the company. Next, the profitability index. This ratio compares the present value of future cash flow to the initial investment, helping to assess the efficiency of the investment. Next, the internal rate of return. IRR is the rate of which the NPV on investment becomes zero. If the IRR is higher than the company's required rate of return, the investment is considered as good. And next, the last is time value of money. This concept is crucial in capital budgeting because it recognizes that $1 today is worth more than $1 in the future due to its earning potential. TVM allows business to account for the value of money over time, helping to compare cash flow at different points in the future and making better investment decisions. Moving to the corporate structure, which is a vital part of understanding how a company organizes itself in terms of both operational and financing. A well-structured organization allows for clear decision-making, efficient management of resources, and optimal use of capital. Two essential elements under corporate structure are: the first is financial distress. This occurs when a company faces difficulty in meeting its financial obligation, potential leading to insolvency or even bankruptcy. Financial distress can arise from poor cash flow management, excessive debt, unforeseen economic shocks. When companies face financial distress, they must take immediate action to address their liquidity issue. Companies must regularly assess their financial health to prevent this situation and implement strategies to manage debt, optimize revenue, and maintain financial stability. And the last is cash management. Effective cash management is crucial for ensuring that a company can meet its short-term obligation and avoid financial distress. Key practice in cash management include increasing the collection of receivable, ensuring that the company receives payment on time, keeping inventory low, reducing the costs associated with holding excess inventory, and delaying the payment of liabilities. This strategy helps companies preserve cash for immediate operational needs. and planning the timing of major expenditure. This is to ensuring that significant expenses are aligned with the company's cash flow cycle. And the last is investing idle cash, using any excess cash to generate returns rather than letting it sit idle. Now let's turn our attention to risk management, which is vital for protecting the company from potential financial threats. Effective risk management allows business to identify, evaluate, and mitigate the risks that could harm the company's financial health. This includes managing risks related to market fluctuation, fraud, and operational inefficiencies. There are three key elements with risk management. The first is fraud prevention. Fraud can have significant negative impact on a company's financial standing and reputation. To prevent fraud, companies must foster a strong employee ethics culture to encourage honesty and integrity. Implement standard operating procedure or SOP to ensure consistency and transparency in all financial transactions. Train employees regularly on ethical standard and fraud prevention. And protective security measures should be in place to secure sensitive financial data. And create whistleblower mechanism, allowing employees to report fraudulent activities confidentially. And fourth type of incentive. This is the understanding the different incentive that drive employee behavior can help reduce the risk of fraud. This include physical incentive like tangible rewards such as bonus, raise or benefit, monetary incentive like direct financial reward tied to performance or behavior, and social incentive, recognition and social approval within the workplace. And the last is moral incentive, encouraging employees to do the right thing because it aligns with their personal value or the company's ethical standard. And the last is the red flags of fraud. Identifying the warning sign of fraud can help prevent major losses. Some of the most common red flags include employee avoiding vacation to prevent someone else from discovering discrepancies, and frequently losing document or report which could be a sign of deliberate concealment, borrowing money from college indicating potential financial distress or unethical behavior, living a lifestyle that exceeds one income which could indicate illicit activities or fraud. On this slide, we explore two additional important concepts in corporate finance. The first is psychology of money. This concept looks at how individual emotion and mental bias influence financial decision. People don't always make rational decisions when it become to money. For example, behavioral finance show how fear and greed can lead to poor investment choice or mismanagement of research. Understanding the psychology of money is key to improving financial behavior. Both in business and personal finance, it helps explain why some investors may panic during market downturns or overly optimistic during booms. The psychology of money reminds us that money management isn't just numbers. It's also about understanding human behavior. Recognizing our psychology bias can lead to better decision making, whether for individual or companies. For example, the book The Psychology of Money by Hagen Housel outlines how our attitudes towards money shape our financial outcome, making it essential to adopt a balanced, long-term approach to managing wealth. And the last is BBCA Portfolio Investment Analysis. In this section, we look at the portfolio investment strategy for BBCA, or we call it Bank Sentral Asia, one of the Indonesia leading financial institutions. By analyzing their investment portfolio, we can understand how they allocate assets across different types of investment, such as stocks, bonds, and other financial instruments. And with that, we have covered the key of element of corporate finance, from financial management, capital budgeting, to risk management and portfolio analysis. I hope this presentation has provided you with valuable insight into the world of corporate finance and how these concepts work together to support business growth and sustainability. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye.